Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to take this moment to say thank you for listening to the Real ResQ podcast. It means a lot to me that you enjoy these stories as much as I do. Since the start of this podcast, we've had a lot of support from all over the world. It has been amazing. Now, we have companies joining our team that also want to say thank you for all that you are doing out there standing the watch. These companies are offering discounts on their products as a way to support the rescue community and those tuning into the Real ResQ podcast. Just go to therealresq.com, click on sponsors, and see these incredible offers for yourself. This episode of the Real ResQ podcast is brought to you by Breeze Eastern, the world's only dedicated helicopter hoist and winch provider. Axness, because when lives are at stake and conditions are challenging, clear communication is of the utmost importance. SR3 Rescue Concepts, because you don't know what you don't know. And Airwave, the Airwave Performance Mouthpiece, helping you to use breathing to your advantage. Breeze Eastern, they dedicate themselves to our helicopter rescue world. Since the very first helicopter rescue in November of 1945, Breeze Eastern has designed and manufactured superior rescue hoist solutions. While much of the technology and the unique mission requirements have changed over the past 75 years, their commitment to the rescuers, the operators, and those being rescued has not. Contact them today by visiting them at breeze-eastern.com. The Axness PNG wireless ICS system can bring cutting-edge wireless intercommunication system technology to any aircraft. The PNG system can be fully integrated into an existing ICS system or can be carried on and off as a mobile base station. They can go anywhere at any time on any aircraft. Plus, with the strongest and most robust waterproof handheld on the market, this system can take a hit and keep working. Their wireless intercom systems are designed to enhance situational awareness through improved communication capability. This system brings superior noise canceling technology to eliminate rotor wash and engine noise from your ICS. The Axness PNG wireless system is currently deployed in more than 1,800 public safety, air ambulance, and search and rescue aircrafts worldwide. I have personally used the Axness system in 4 different countries and on 5 different airframes. It is awesome. If you want more information, contact them today at axness.com. That's AXNES.com. You just make sure you tell them Quinny sent me. SR3 Rescue Concepts is a training company that can help your helicopter training. They train daytime, nighttime, aerial firefighting, hoist, long line, fast rope, rappel, and more. They can assist your program with standardization and safety checks or just an FAA annual refresher. With the certified flight instructor pilots and experienced crew, they are ready to help your agency keep up to date with current techniques, rules, regulations, and equipment. Plus, right now, SR3 is offering 10% off anything in their web store with the promo code, all capital letters, Real ResQ, REALRESQ. Plus, they are offering another 10% from their partners Petzl and their equipment. All you got to do is send an email to info@sr3rescueconcepts.com, mention this podcast, and they'll take care of the rest. And Airwave. What if I told you that you could train harder for longer and recover faster just by wearing a mouthpiece? I know, I questioned it too. Then I gave it a try. The Airwave Performance Mouthpiece is a breakthrough in performance technology that is scientifically proven with over 15 years of peer-reviewed, published research at the Citadel to open your airway by 25% for improved breathing, resulting in a 20% decrease in respiratory rate, an increase in muscular endurance, and 50% reduction in cortisol levels post-workout. Now, what does this mean to me? Well, now I'm able to train harder, recover faster, and be even more prepared for when that SAR alarm goes off. You don't need to take my word for it. Try it yourself and see how you can use your breathing to your advantage. Go to airwave.com or visit them on Instagram at airwave to learn more about it. Then, when you're ready to give it a try, because you heard about it here at the Real ResQ, you get 10% off with the promotion code Real ResQ, RealResQ. Coming up next, we've got a very interesting and unique story. So my bud came on, he's a doctor and he's an optometrist of all things. And how that twisted and turned into search and rescue is more along the lines of what he was doing and how it turned into some sort of rescue situation. It's awesome. So please welcome our next guest and his stories, Doctor Ikenna Worgu. My name is Jason Quinn. I am United States Coast Guard Rescue Swimmer number 500. These are my rescues and rescues from those of us that put our lives on the line every day so others may live. This is the Real ResQ Podcast.
It's like an in-house interview.
It totally is.
Yeah.
I don't do this very often.
I know.
This is exciting.
It is.
Yeah. To have you here with me right now,
man.
like face to face.
Oh, man. I like
just
it.
looking at my eyes. Dude, I love you, man. All right. Enough of that. Let's get this party started. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real ResQ Podcast. Today, I've got a brother of mine with me. Hey. So the cool part about this is, this is Ikenna
Worgu.
Worgu.
Yeah. That's how you pronounce it.
Worgu. Ikenna Worgu.
Yeah.
Where are you from again?
I'm from Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
I haven't had anybody on here from Nigeria. I'm working on it.
Yeah,
that's why, you know what? You're my first.
I'm your first, and I will introduce you to more.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Well, man, thank you so much for coming on. You have a very unique story, and this is why I asked you to come on.
Unique, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. So the short version is, I'm going to give everybody a quick short version, and that is, so you're a doctor.
Yeah, I'm an ophthalmologist.
Ophthalmologist.
Yeah.
Look into my eyes. Tell me what you really see.
I think it's cool.
Get out of here, man.
You've got cool eyes.
Buddy, man, you had me at hello, but I'm good with that.
I don't think you would actually see me in a couple of years. So
I can see where this is going already. Oh my gosh. Well, I'll tell you what, man, if you don't mind, bring us a little background about you, kind of what got you started. So you're from Nigeria, going into being a doctor, and what have you done? Like, how did all that start for you?
I kind of let me actually start from when it all started. How I actually became an ophthalmologist was, I had an uncle who had diabetes, and I think I was pretty young. I was 12, and he was really, really pretty close to me. It was like my second dad, let me put it that way.
Nice.
And he kind of had issues with his eyes because he had diabetes, and from the case history, diabetes actually affects the eyes a lot if it's left untreatable.
Diabetes affects the eyes.
It does. It damages it because.
Look at that, I learned something new today.
Yeah, that's from here.
Of course.
So he kind of had this issue of almost getting blind and stuff like that. So we actually had to take him to the hospital, and actually I was able to go with him. Okay. Because I was invited to go with him, And when we got to the hospital, I saw this doctor who actually walked up to my uncle and told my uncle that I don't think you have any issues. We're actually going to take care of you, and you're actually going to see. So I thought he was just going to perform a magic or something like that.
Nigerian magic.
People always think that Nigerians are we actually kind of hang on voodoo and stuff like that. So it's
bro.
Not true.
Oh, not true. Noted.
Not true. Scratch that.
Okay.
So oh my gosh, I love it. So when we got to the hospital, and he saw her, he saw my uncle, and he got the treatment started. And then after 2 weeks, my uncle could actually gain his vision, and he could actually see.
No way.
So that actually just got me like, he was actually struggling. He couldn't even walk. And this doctor just walked up to him and told him, you're actually going to see, we're going to actually treat you. And all of a sudden, in the space of him not seeing,
Yeah.
and then in 2 weeks, he could actually see me. So that actually just changed my idea. I was like, okay, I think I want to do this. And I started pursuing it. I went to school, studied. Here I am.
Dang, man.
Yeah. It's been cool.
That's sick.
It's been a cool journey though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a cool
Wow.
journey. Yeah. I've had issues, I've had experiences, I've had joy. It's been bittersweet. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, I love it. I love it.
It's cool.
So, all right, now let me bring you into kind of the whole rescue side of this, because so our conversation, the way this started was, I was asking you like where have you been and what you've done, and you were like, man, I've seen some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how this started. So from Nigeria, did you work in Nigeria?
Yeah, I worked in Nigeria. If you're actually asking me of my crazy experiences while
Yes.
this, I've had a lot of I have a lot of experiences in it, because in Nigeria we actually go to what we call, it's called an outreach.
Okay. Outreach. Oh,
Like
nice.
an outreach.
Yeah.
And it's like what the world actually knows as Doctors Without Borders.
Oh,
Something
okay.
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So you actually create this outreach where we go to communities where there's least healthcare.
Yeah.
There's no hospitals. There's nothing, no healthcare. We actually go there, and these are communities where people are not actually accepted. They have cultures where people are not even welcomed.
Oh, wow.
So we had to actually go there and convince them that, oh, we're actually in the right path. We have good intentions. We're actually coming here to like give you guys great hair care, restore your eyesight. And I remember I had this family, and we walked up to them, and he was kind of like an elder in the community, and he was pretty stubborn. He was like,
Aren't they all?
yeah, most of them.
I mean, my dad is.
Oh yeah, my dad.
Yeah, you're so. sorry, Dad.
It's okay.
Sorry.
So I actually walked up to him, and I was like, he was actually not really interested, but he was kind of like a big deal in the community.
Okay.
And we walked up into his house, and he had like 3-4 guys in his house with I think he got prepared for us. He had a machete or something like that. That
I'm gonna cut
yeah,
you.
like if you guys walk in here, I'm actually gonna chop you guys off. You know, this kind of stuff. So when we walked in, he was like, "You're not welcome here. You're not actually welcome in this community. We don't appreciate medicine. We actually like what we have. We do our own herbal medicine, and it works for us." So I was scared for my life, because I was the only guy there, and I had like a couple of girls with me, and I had to walk up to him to tell him, to actually convince him, to try to talk to him, to tell him that this is not why we're here. We're actually here to like save you. Yeah. And he was really mean. He had to hold me. They had to hold me, dude. They had to like hold me and not even allow me, you know, go close to him anymore, because he felt really standoffish. He was not really interested in listening to me. So they had to like call in somebody who was coming. I think it was more like a language thing.
Yeah.
So he was not really understanding me, but he was just not really interested in listening to me. But he told me to stand outside.
Okay.
So, but we actually just took it, and I spoke to him, and I told him, because he had cataract, and I could notice they had cataract. Cataract means when you could actually see the round side of the pupil.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it becomes shady.
Is that like it's kind of like white,
white,
yeah,
whitish?
Yeah,
It's cataract.
it looks yeah, okay.
It looks more like when you're looking through a foggy glass.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's the vision.
And you can see that.
You can see that on the eyes.
Okay.
When it's mature.
Yeah.
And it's actually interfering with his vision, his walk.
Okay.
So I actually now told him I could actually see this, and I asked him, "What is your vision like?" And they had an interpreter or something, like someone that was going to interpret.
Yeah.
And then he was speaking to the man while I was speaking English, and he was trying to explain to him that what was your vision like, and he was like, I cannot see. I have a foggy vision, and it's more like a rainfall and stuff. So we're just trying to explain to him that's what it is. And I told him, okay, that's what you have. This is what you have.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here. So that changed him. He was like, okay, I'm going to actually speak to the king. You guys can come in.
I'm going to go speak to the king.
Yeah. He's going to speak to the king of the community. So you guys
started
can
with
come in.
machete.
He started with
Now he's
machete.
going-
Now he's like, okay, you guys should stay in my house. I'm actually going to go to the king and tell him you guys can come in. That was actually my first encounter, like practicing.
Oh.
That was my first outreach. Then my second encounter was in Kenya. I can remember that was in 2013, 2014.
Okay.
There's a place called Nakuru in Kenya.
Okay.
I actually
So
walked
I've
there.
never been there.
You've never been there. That's why I
Yeah.
said Nakuru.
Yeah.
If you've
I
been
don't
to,
even know
yeah.
where that is. I know it's somewhere in Africa.
Yes,
I know
it's kind
Kenya.
of like
I
in
know-
the eastern part of Africa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they have a different culture. They have a different views to things.
Yeah.
But we
The only
asked,
thing I know about Kenyans is they come to Boston and run the Boston Marathon.
oh, they're very good.
Yes. They're fast.
Always champions.
Yes.
They're good at running.
I'm just saying. That's all I know.
Okay, so
Is it bad? I don't
No, it's
know.
not.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's not bad because that's what the world knows Kenyans for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they come to
they
Boston.
come to Boston and
Whoop
just
the shit out of that marathon. I think they're walking half the time and they're like, what are these?
yeah. So they're like
they
they're
do.
walking and you're like running. They're like, we do this every day. We go to school.
They're
running.
sipping on a
yeah,
drink.
sipping on a drink. They're like,
You gonna catch up?
yeah, I'm waiting for you.
Oh my gosh.
So when I went to Kenya, I think 2015, 2016, and we went there for like I spent 6 months in Kenya, and we went for like more like an outreach tour,
Okay.
but it was more like a job now.
Okay.
You get paid for it.
So the outreach, the first one was
Yeah,
kind of volunteer.
It was kind of volunteer.
Got it. All right.
Now this is more like you get paid for it
Nice.
because you're leaving the country. And in Nigeria, we do something that is called your youth service after you're graduated from school.
Yeah.
The government actually sends you somewhere. So I actually decided to go out. I don't want to say abroad because Kenya is in Africa, so it's not abroad,
But a different country.
but a different country.
Yeah.
So I
With
had
a different
with a different background, different
culture.
cultural,
Yeah. Yeah.
different
Okay.
different views. So I had to go. And when we got there, they were kind of like super friendly, not like the other guy who was like standoffish and trying to kill us.
Yeah.
These guys were like cool, and when we came in, they housed us, and then there's this old woman that lived in that house that were being housed, and she had like retinal pigmentation,
Okay.
and it's more like how do I explain it to you now? It's more like your retina is actually displaced.
Oh, nice.
It comes from
Well, not nice,
health.
but
Yeah,
I get
it's
it.
not nice. It comes from
Retina detached.
Yeah, it
Not
comes
good.
from it comes from blunt trauma.
Yeah.
It comes from health issues like high blood pressure,
Got it.
like diabetes, mostly between diabetes and high blood pressure. I think she was 86-year-old.
68?
86.
Oh, 86.
Yeah.
Oh,
She was pretty old.
okay.
And she was just sitting on a chair, and the daughter walked up to us and told us that her mom is not actually seeing. Her mom is actually blind, and she's actually having issues. She's not seeing well. So I walked upstairs because she was living upstairs, and we were actually staying downstairs. So I walked
So
upstairs
you're staying in the same place that she
in the
was?
same state, because she actually housed us.
Okay.
So I walked along with her, and the other people just because we were 3 of us who went to Kenya, and then I was speaking with her because I needed to know what the issue was, and she said she's had issues. She has and her blood pressure is always under high, and blah blah blah. So while I was talking to her,
Yeah.
it felt like I was talking to someone who was really not responding.
Really?
you
Like
know?
she just went
Like she just went
like,
blank, like she wasn't there, and I knew something happened. So it was more like she fainted, or something like that. It was more between not being there and fainting. So she was still on the chair and but she wasn't moving. And I noticed. So then I had to like do CPR on an old woman.
So the first thing I'm thinking is she rolled in and just had a heart attack right in front of you.
In front of me.
Oh my God.
In front of me. I could still remember it up to date. And the daughter was screaming. So I told her, okay, just get an ambulance. Let's get to the hospital. So in Nakuru, there's a place called Karen. They have a good hospital there called Karen Hospital. Okay. It's like 15 minutes drive from where we were living.
15, 15, 1 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a long drive.
Yeah.
So there's a very good hospital in Nairobi. Okay. That's the capital of Kenya.
Yeah.
Yeah. So luckily the ambulance actually got there. After I performed CPR on her and did the normal stuff on her, she came back. She came back to consciousness, but she was still like struggling. Yeah. So we had to like take her to the hospital. I was with her, and the doctor was like, we need to actually stabilize her high blood pressure because it was high. Yeah. And that's how she went off. But after that, we need to perform a surgery on her eyes to take out the cataract.
Wait a minute, you're going to perform the surgery on the eyes while she's in the hospital?
While she's in the hospital there.
Yeah.
But what they do is, you actually have to reduce her blood pressure because you don't perform a surgery on her while she's still in that state. Yeah. And they had to do it. So we stayed back I stayed back in the lodge. Yeah. Because we were supposed to go to another community the next day. Yeah. But the daughter was like pleading that we should actually stay one more day so that we could actually look after the mother. So when she woke up, she gained consciousness. She was like, "Oh yeah, I think I need to see the doctor that saved my life." So she called me. That was you? That was me. That was you? And then she was like, I needed to like be with her when they did the surgery. I wasn't prepared for it.
Wait, she asked you to be in there for
She asked me to be in there.
Oh my gosh.
Why they performed the surgery. So I was like, but I'm not ready. She was like, no, you have to be there. You have to follow through. I was like, okay, let me do this. So the doctor, the resident ophthalmologist in the hospital was like, I was told you're an ophthalmologist. I think you need to like be with me while we perform this surgery on the eyes to take out the cataract. The cataract was on both eyes. Yeah. And that was like my first surgery. That was 2015. Okay.
So I gotta make sure I got all this right. Yeah. You're sitting down talking to this lady.
I was talking to her to know
she has a heart attack in front of you.
In front of me.
You do CPR.
I did CPR.
Bring her to the hospital.
Bring her back. Took her to the hospital.
Bring her back to life.
Bring her back to life.
Then get to the hospital.
And get to the hospital.
Then she has to go.
Then she has to go do surgery to take out the cataract. And she was like,
I want you there.
You save my life. You're gonna do everything. You're gonna follow up.
Bro.
You're going nowhere. I was trying to talk her out of it. I was like, I'm not ready for this. Come on. And that was my first I don't want to curse. That was my first surgery after getting out of school. And
to a lady that you just saved.
I just saved.
Oh my God.
But normally in healthcare, when you're actually talking to a patient, I would always say, about this. You always want to know the case history. Yeah. You know what's going on. Right. And while I was trying to ask her why, she left me while I was talking. So I didn't know. It's like I was talking to myself.
So, wait, what?
Yeah. So she was just like gone.
Yeah. Why are you not listening to me?
I'm asking the daughter, why is your mom not responding? That's when we knew something happened. So she was like, I need you to be in the surgery. And there's something about I don't know if I would say Nigerians and Africans. Yeah. We tend to respect the wish of an elder person. Okay. Even if you don't know the person.
Oh, I like that.
It's more like I wouldn't generalize it. Specifically for me, how I was brought up. Okay. Yeah. You need to. Whenever an old person says, I need you to go fetch water in the jungle, you go. But all please get your ass back. So someone will look after me. Yeah. That's how I was brought up. So when she actually put that to me through, she was like, I need you to be there to do it. I was like, okay, well, let's do it. So the other doctor was like, I think you are, let's do it. You're going to be here with me. So I walked in there and I did the surgery on that woman.
Wow.
With the other doctor. And we took out the damaged lens in her eyes, and she came out.
And then done.
And done.
She see again.
She saw after that.
Oh my
But
gosh.
the sad thing is she died after 4, because I kept in contact with them.
Yeah.
She died after 4 years, after everything.
But all right, so let's put that in perspective for a minute.
Yeah, okay.
She died in front of you. You brought her back to life.
Yeah.
Then you gave her eyesight back.
Yeah.
So she enjoyed the last 4 years of her life.
Yeah. She did. Fully. She could see.
She was 87
She was 87.
and lived for another 4 more years.
And then did 4 more years. I was like, Arabic would be like, Kalas.
Halas.
She did that. She was like, Kalas, I'm done. I think I need to go. But for me, that actually changed my perspective towards my line of work.
Yeah.
My line of medicine. After doing that with her, I became super aware and spontaneous about what I was doing. Because then it was more like I was afraid of getting into it.
Yeah.
But after I did that with her, it became like there's something they always say, I don't know, you know about it, the military always say, when you switch from being afraid to being aware.
It's going time.
It's go time. So I went from being to like, that's it. I need to keep doing this.
Oh my gosh.
There's this. I remember when you asked me I remember one time we were hanging out and you asked me what has actually inspired you to actually do medicine, and you asked me that now. What actually inspired me to do, apart from seeing my uncle survive and getting his eyesight back, and me responding to that woman's request and getting her, the joy is getting somebody's eyesight back.
Yeah.
Your vision. If I can actually do that, that's more like an inspiration for me. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets me there.
But I think about that woman there for a second. I mean, she spent 4 years being able to see and alive because of you.
Yeah.
Twice.
So
Dude.
it
amazing.
was, for me, it was when I told my parents about it, my dad was like, so, because when I was talking to him about it, I was like, but I'm a little bit worried about her.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if she's going to actually gain her sight after doing this surgery, because I did it with somebody and this is actually my first time. So my dad was like, you saved that woman's life. Why are you worried about it?
Exactly. Karma's already on your side. Like
God is on your side.
Always.
Always.
I love it.
So keep going. That's like one of my, and the other one, I remember when I spent 7 months to 6 months in Kenya.
Okay.
And there was this, I can remember there was this 17-year-old girl. My wife has blunt trauma to her eyes.
Oh, she does? I don't think I knew that.
She does. So there's this.
Nice. Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when she looks at me, she doesn't really
Yeah,
say
she
ugly.
doesn't.
She's like,
When she
maybe
talks-
you
when-
do. Oh, that's terrible, dude. I'm sorry. You're a sexy guy. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
She
it.
doesn't see me. She's like, she takes off her glasses like, who's that? But
We'd be standing next to each other. She
she
wouldn't know who
she
was
wouldn't
who.
know. Yeah. It's just, she had a blunt trauma to her eyes while she was little. Her brother used I think a button to actually hit her in the eyes, and
Her brother did that?
they were
Is he
playing.
still alive? I'm just kidding. Sorry.
So why I said why I brought her in was because I had a 17-year-old kid
Yeah.
in Kenya too who had the same. He was playing soccer, because that's one of my favorite
Yeah.
sports.
But you call it football.
Well, we call it football.
Football.
You guys call it soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to
So that's why I'm just trying to say
Yeah.
soccer, because
That's really nice of you. Because I know that just drove you up the wall. You're like, football is using your feet. That's what the rest of the world calls it.
Because
America,
I know
what's wrong with
because
you?
I know if I say football, you'll be like, oh.
No.
No.
I know what you're talking about. I can't speak for everybody else, but When you say football, I know exactly what you All right, kids play football, soccer.
Soccer.
As Americans call
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
soccer.
soccer. That's why I actually said soccer because, you know. So he was actually playing soccer and he kind of like got hit on the face. I don't know, with the knee or something like that. He was trying to make a tackle and somebody hit him on his knee.
I thought there wasn't a tackle. I thought it was football.
No.
Oh, it was full contact.
Full contact sport, man. Elbows, knees.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's why I don't play soccer. Football. Sorry.
But you've played football, right? You
bit.
did, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
But
I'm not very good. I get little kids that run around me in circles. I can't even catch the ball. I'm like, oh, I try to use a little fancy footwork. No, lose it. Anyway, sorry. I digress.
It's okay. So the kid actually had that injury, and that was after we've left Nakuru. That's where that old lady lives.
Okay.
We left Nakuru and then we went to another community, and that's where that kid had that injury. So the kid was brought to, because when we went to the other community, the community is called Navisha.
Navisha?
Navisha.
Okay.
Navisha.
Okay.
Navisha is more like it's more greeny.
Oh.
It's got a lot of wildlife to it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more like it's a village.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
So we're in a village. Ooh, nice. Deep in the woods.
That's more of.
Welcome to the jungle.
Yeah. We went deep.
All right. I like it.
Yeah. So when we got there, they brought the kid into, because they gave us this it's more like a cubicle.
Yeah.
They had this small cubicle that they actually
tiny little
like
walls.
it's like the walls with the tiny windows, and you're just sitting there. You're like, okay, come in, next patient. So he came in, but he was bloody. He had like, I think, but not much blood, but some blood was just coming out of his eyes. But it was more like a serious blunt trauma to his eyes.
Okay.
And then they brought him, and I noticed that he damaged he had this his cornea. He had this tear on his cornea.
A tear on his cornea.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. So he got hit hard.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And what you do is, in most cases like that, you just don't actually. Most people do is that you just try to like stop the blood from crazy, and then you try to like, because once it happens, there's a possibility that once the cornea tears, there's an accumulation of pus or accumulation of blood in the eyes.
Okay.
So when I noticed that there was accumulation of blood in his eyes.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was like, if I actually do something to this guy's eyes to actually save him, there's a possibility he might not actually have to use that eye again.
Oh,
because of the accumulation of pus.
Yeah.
So if I do anything, there's a possibility that I might actually even damage his eyes.
Okay.
That was scary to me. That was mad. That was crazy. So when they brought him in, we tried to like stabilize him and then reduce the blood coming out of his eyes, and so I told them to actually put him in the ER.
Okay.
And then they took him there. And then I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. We cleaned the eyes. We put him on eye patch. We used the eye cream. We had to like stabilize him. But after like an hour, I noticed that his eyes were just big.
Like just getting bigger and bigger?
Bigger and bigger. And I had no equipment with me there. What I came to do in that community was just give like first aid treatment.
Okay.
Because I had nothing with me.
Yeah.
So if he had gone to the hospital, okay, yeah, but I had nothing with me.
Okay.
So this guy's eyes were just big, like a ball.
Yeah.
So we had to like from Naivasha to Nairobi, it's like a 2-hour drive.
Oh wow, long way. Okay.
So I had to get a car. We drove down to Nairobi.
You jumped in the car with this kid for 2 hours.
For
nice.
2 hours. I jumped in the car.
Yeah.
For 2 hours. Took this kid to Karen Hospital, where I didn't do the surgery with him, but it was crazy to me that I could actually do that for a child.
Wow. Wow.
You know,
Yeah. So you stabilized
I
him.
stabilized him.
Drove him 2
Drove him
hours.
to the 2 hours to the hospital, and they did what they had to do, and he lost his eyes. Like,
Oh, he did lose his eye.
that was one of the cases that actually broke me,
Oh,
because I knew it would happen,
damn it.
and he lost it. But the fact that I took him there and did that, and he came out not having to not crying, not
Yeah.
getting jumpy, but being thankful.
Yeah.
You know, he was just telling me that really I'm thankful, and I really appreciate what you've done for me. You know, stuff like that. It was, for me, it was inspiring. You know,
Yeah.
having to see that kid who actually I did that for,
Yeah.
and actually have that he's lost his eyes and he's still like being thankful with it. It actually changed my views to my practice and life. You know,
Wow, man. That's deep.
it's most of my cases, most of the crazy cases was when I was in Kenya. Why? Because I'm not trying to shoot down on Kenyans,
No, not at all.
but
You're what's telling us is reality.
yeah, I am.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
Here's the way it really is.
this is how it is
Yeah.
in most parts in Kenya. There's this struggle for healthcare.
Yeah.
There's this struggle to get quick medical care,
Okay.
not just available medical care, good medical care.
Yeah.
Because most times in Africa, like in most countries where they have systems that work, where they have insurances, where you can actually go to hospital and use your insurance to like cover an amount of money for surgery and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In Kenya or in Africa, in most countries, it's always a hassle. It's always a hassle.
Okay.
So most of my cases that I've actually struggled with, I've had like to deal with, it's mostly in Kenya because of that,
Wow.
because of the lack of healthcare, lack of good healthcare, the lack of facilities,
Yeah.
the lack of, ignorance is part of it. But I have most of my cases in Kenya.
No kidding.
A lot of it in Kenya.
Yeah. How long did you spend in Kenya?
7 months.
7 months, and that's the majority of your, like the eye rescues and
Eye rescues and that. It's mostly in Kenya. Other parts of the world where I've actually been to, like Namibia. Namibia, it was more like people walking into the hospital and getting their eyes tested for glasses and prescription and eye drops. But in Kenya, it was more like trauma.
Yeah.
I had like eyeballs gushing out,
Oh my
torn
gosh.
eyeballs, torn fissures. You know, people actually had like I had a case, more like an infection. It was more like it was a baby. It was a 7-month-old baby, and the mom. In most cases, people don't actually treat the infections that they have. So I had this 7-month-old child who had keratoconus, and keratoconus is where the lower fissures, that's the eyelids,
Okay.
get really infected, and you see like pus coming out of the eye of the child.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yep, that child had an infection, and the mom didn't know what to do. So in Kenya, what they do is that when the child has, or a person has that kind of infection, what they do is that they go to, like, in such places like Nakuru and Lavisha, they go to like a herbalist.
An herbalist.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what they do is like they get one of those leaves on the corner here and
Yeah,
then squeeze
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Medicine doctor.
Medicine doctor.
Hey.
That's it.
All right.
So they squeezed a bunch of leaf in the child's eyes, and it damaged the lenses, and it damaged
Oh no.
the nerves on that child's eyes. And they had like, when they brought the child to me, the child had like pus coming out of the child's eyes, and that child could not see. That child was 7 months and a half. So when they brought the child, I was mad. I was like, why would they actually have a 7-month-old child having to deal with this kind of issue? So, but what I did was I you don't do surgery in such cases.
Yeah.
What you do is like you tend to like apply antibiotics, follow up with antibiotics on the child just to treat the infection first.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I tried to like use antibiotics a lot on the child. I know that 7 months old, there's a possibility you don't actually have to give the child a lot of antibiotics because they tend to like really do a lot of harm than
Okay.
good.
Yeah. Now, off the top of my head, like, so some of my paramedic type training, it would be you titrate, you know, based on their weight.
On their weight. Yep. Exactly.
Somewhat, you know, this equals this.
You did the professionals.
Yeah,
with the pediatric tape.
Yeah,
you measure it.
Oh, it's good to know the doctors use it too.
So you do that. You measure the child. You
Yeah.
check on the weight of the child. You do a lot of tests.
Yeah.
To actually know what the child is reactive to, even before it. Because what we do is the child does not talk. Of
Right.
course.
Yeah.
So what you do that you take.
And if they do, then
that's the problem.
Well, I'm either worried or super excited. We got a brainiac over here.
if I actually walk up to that child and that child says hello, I'm out of there.
What's up, doc?
The child is like, "What's up, doc? How you doing?" The child was like struggling.
Yeah.
So what I did was just to apply antibiotics to the eyes of the child, but the child had to stay in the hospital. I can remember I had this I think 7-year-old. The child, I think the mom tried to beat the child up.
The mom tried to beat the child up?
The child had
child abuse?
It's more like a child
Damn.
abuse.
No, I'm just kidding, dude.
It's normal in Africa.
Oh, it's normal. Is that what happened to him?
Whoop, yeah.
I'm just kidding. Oh, whoa.
Whoop.
You know what? Oh, what? God, get out of line again. I'm just kidding.
No,
Sorry.
no worries. It's cool. When I was growing up, my eyes whooped a lot.
Yeah.
By my parents.
It happens.
It happens. But it's not something I want to bring up in air. I'm like, I got my ass whooped. No.
It's all right. My mom whooped my ass too. It's cool.
It's cool.
I think I turned out all right.
Yeah. That turned out good.
Yeah, I think so.
This child actually did something wrong and the mom beat the child up. So while she was doing that, she kind of like beat him up and kind of like
hurt him. Whooped him a little too much.
Whooped him to a mess.
Oh, jeez.
And he came with a blooded eye, and I was like, why would the mom want to do this to a child? You know, like beat him up. So she was crying. She was like, no, I was trying to like correct him, and then he was running out, and then I hit him mistakenly. He got into his eyes.
Got it.
And this child had there's a medical case in the eyes called strabismus.
Okay.
Strabismus is unequal pupil. So when the child is looking at an object, the normal pupil is always straight.
Okay.
But the strabismus is like
one's off.
One is off.
And so you're like almost cross-eyed?
So it's crossed eye.
Okay. Got it.
So it's strabismus, crossed eye.
I got it.
So the child had a crossed eye, and the mom hit him on that the faulty eye, because sometimes when a child has a crossed eye, there's a good eye and there's a bad eye.
Yeah.
And she hit him on that very bad eye. And in such cases, when a child comes in with trauma on the bad eye, you tend to be very, 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 very delicate, because crossed eye comes with muscles damage. Yeah. When the muscles are not working right.
Yeah.
When they're not trying to hold the pupil in a position, the pupils tend to like move towards maybe right or left, depending on where the muscles on the eye is actually stronger.
Yeah.
So when that happened, when they brought her in and I did the test and I looked at it, I noticed that the child had that issue.
Yeah.
So what I did was that I put the child. I had ice, and I after cleaning the blood, I had ice, but I had to actually patch the good eye.
Okay.
So what you do is you patch the good eye
and make the bad eye work.
Walk.
Yeah. Okay. So you're giving the eye a
Even,
workout.
exactly.
Yeah.
CrossFit.
Okay.
Yeah.
CrossFit for the eye. I like that. let's get as many reps as possible.
I'm giving the eye CrossFit to the eye. So I had to patch the good eye and let the bad eye walk out.
Okay.
And then I noticed that when I did that, where the damage was more was on that eye, and she did more damage than she thought.
Oh man. Okay.
So what happened was that when she hit the child in the eye, she damaged the lens.
Okay.
And on traumas, on dislocation of the lens, most of the time it happens when when you have like a blunt trauma,
Right.
the lenses actually fall off.
Oh. Is that what happened to this kid?
That's what happened to this kid.
Damn.
So after doing the eye the eye patch and everything, I noticed that his lenses have actually fallen off. So I called it's more like I called the doctor. I called the other doctor in the hospital. I was like, this child has this. And where I was, I don't have the equipment to actually do it. So it's more like I have to now refer this child
Yeah.
to another ophthalmologist in another hospital,
Okay.
where they would actually go through the normal process of trying to save the child's eye. So when I called the doctor, I told him that this child has this.
Yeah.
And the doctor was like, I can't do anything for this child except this child. They have to like what I did for the last child.
Yeah.
I have to bring this child to the hospital,
Like Nairobi.
like Nairobi.
Okay.
But I couldn't, because right now, and why I couldn't was because it was raining and I couldn't go out, and where I have to actually now get a car. We have to now walk from where the hospital is to like maybe we're going to like gate 20.
Oh wait. So that's like 2 miles.
That's
from
like
here.
2 miles from here.
Yeah.
So
So that's not gonna work.
it's not gonna work. So I told this doctor we kind of like made a deal. So I told this doctor, I told him, okay, if you come over here and you save this child's life, we would run around and get the cash for you.
Get the cash.
Like
Get the payment.
get the payment for you. Like what they do,
Wow.
what they do this community, like everybody drops like what you have. So I told him, if you come over for this child,
Yeah.
I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to actually get everybody to contribute and get you a cash. He was laughing at me. He was like, you're not serious. That's like, I told him, if you save this child's life, and that is my reason why I'm here, I need to save this child's eyes. So if you can do that, I will do this for you. And he was like, okay, I'm going to drive down. I'll hold you to your word. I'll drive down. So he drove down. That was like 2 hours, like I told you.
Yeah.
And then he drove down to the village and he came in with a nurse and one other person. I can't remember who the person was, but I knew there were like 3 of them who came. And he did what he had to do and put in an artificial lens in the child's eyes.
An artificial lens.
Yeah, that's what they do.
No kidding.
Because right now the lenses are damaged.
Yeah.
And that child is not going to be seeing like 90% anymore. That child is going to be seeing like 40%.
Oh, yeah.
Coupled with the muscle issue.
Yeah.
And he did it. He was successful. And then he asked me, okay, what are we going to do next? And then I spoke with the in Kenya. There's something they call they have the chief, and then they have the second man who's
Okay.
like the who answers to the chief.
Okay.
But he's the go-to person.
Okay.
Because if you want to see the chief in quote unquote, you have to have an appointment.
Okay.
Yeah. So I spoke with him. I was like, this doctor came here and did this to this child. We need to like run around to like raise this amount of money for him to like go back home. And it was like, the man was like, okay, let's do it. So they actually ran around and got money from that man.
The whole village.
Not the whole village,
Oh, well.
like a few people.
Okay.
A few people.
Yeah.
They actually ran around and got money for him and then took him back home. And when he got the money, he was looking at me like, are you really,
Are you for real?
Are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm the reason why I'm in Kenya, I'm doing this is to save this for this kind of situation. I'm not actually here to actually do just run around in Kenya. This is why I'm here. So if there's any way we can actually save at least 4 or 5 cases in this village, I'm done. I'll go back home. For me, it was more like there's something we used to do. There's something we used to do while we were growing up. My dad is a pastor.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. And while we were growing up, there's this thing we do at home where we actually wake up in the morning, and he gives us when you wake up in the morning, he gives us maybe 1 riyad money.
Okay.
1 riyad, and then you keep it. Maybe in the space of 3 or 4 days, he will ask you for it.
Okay.
It's more like an accountability thing or something like that.
Yeah. Did you spend it? Did you buy your little penny candy?
What did you do with it? I bought candy. Okay. So it goes. We actually kept it. Why I brought that up was because it kind of taught me. It kind of taught me something. I was like, if you have the means to save a life, why not do it?
It's worth it.
So that's more like, for me, that's more like a rescue.
Yeah.
Because though I was not involved in the actual surgery, but it was more like, if I actually didn't do that, the doctor wouldn't have been available.
Right. No, it's all the coordinating
outside of that.
Yeah.
So it for me, it was more like part of my rescue, because I actually saved that child's eyes, and he couldn't see up to 60% or 70% of what I expected him to see. But
you know what? That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's better than nothing.
That's better than.
And well done.
Thank you.
What's up?
And the other cases here in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Most of the cases here in Saudi Arabia where I've had patients actually not even wanting me to even do anything.
Just leave them.
Just leave them.
Wow. Interesting.
Mostly I've had a case where, Saudi Arabia here, I don't know if you know about it. You don't touch a woman.
Oh, yes. Yeah. No. You as a male.
Male
doctor. Whatever.
You don't.
Yeah. Right.
Except she comes with the guardian or the husband.
Yeah.
And most of the time, I always have cases of ladies actually. I don't know if I have to say this on.
You don't have to say it.
So I don't have to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's tough.
It's definitely. You know what? Actually, that brings up another. I'm gonna sidetrack off of some of your stuff, and I want to ask you, because like I said, you've been from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Went to Kenya.
Yeah, I went to Kenya. Went to Namibia.
Yeah, and now you're here in Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
So there's some major difference in cultures with all that.
Yeah, there is.
So I'm not even sure how I want to ask the question of what are the differences? What's the difficulties that you see in all the cultures?
Let me start with Nigeria.
Okay.
Where I'm from.
Yeah.
We have different tribes.
Okay.
In Nigeria, but the 3 most prominent tribes in Nigeria are, they call them the Yorubas, the Igbos, and the Hausas. Okay. The Hausas are kind of related to the people in Saudi Arabia. The Hausas are the Muslims, but they have Muslims in different kind of tribes. Okay. And in these 3 tribes, they have baby tribes,
okay.
Like the Igbos have when they have A, B, and C, and then they have little tribes under it. Yeah. And the Igbos have, where I'm from. I'm from the Igbo tribe.
Igbo tribe. Okay. Got it.
Good tribe.
Good tribe. Of course it is.
The best tribe.
The best. That's why you're here.
Yeah, that's
the
what.
Best.
Yeah,
I want to take the best here.
The best tribe. And as an Igbo person, I went to the northern part of Nigeria right now, which is where you don't actually have to go because of they're dealing with a lot of religious issues. Okay. In the northern part of Nigeria, it's not safe. But back then
Yeah.
I could go. So I went to a place in Sokoto. It's called Sokoto. There's a place, a state in a city called Sokoto in Nigeria. It's the northern part of Nigeria.
Okay.
It's more of it's a Muslim part.
What's the name of the town again?
Sokoto.
Sokoto?
Yeah, Sokoto.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sokoto.
it's a state in Nigeria.
Okay.
It's a Muslim state, and in Nigeria, there's like I told you, there's after you're done with school, there's something you do for 1 year. It's called the youth service.
Youth service. Yeah.
Where the government takes you to a place where
That's the outreach part.
that's the outreach part.
Okay.
So I actually went to a place called Sokoto, and as an Igbo, you tend to have a little bit of weird looks, there.
You're not from there.
You're not from here. You're not from
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So
You're in the wrong.
yeah,
side of the
you're
tracks
actually
there, buddy.
You're actually in the wrong place, man. So when we
It's good to know it's not just in America.
no, America's got nothing in Sokoto.
Duly noted.
So when we got there, we started the outreach because it was a 1 day outreach.
Yeah.
So it's not something you have to like leave or you stay in a place. It was in a 1 day outreach. So we got there with our boss, we had our instruments, we had our drugs, we had the glasses. So we're not actually going to perform any surgery there. It was just more like first aid cases where you just come in and then you refract.
Okay.
You give glasses.
Yeah.
Or if somebody needs attention when it comes to medicine, you give medicine. But if it's more than that, you refer.
Okay.
So I had a couple of before you start an outreach, you get somebody who speaks the language and speaks English.
Got it.
So
Okay.
you could actually pass the message clear to the people. Because before we come, we actually have to now tell the community and tell them that we are coming in so and so day.
All right.
Get everybody where, even if it might actually be in a town hall,
Yeah.
it might actually be like in a community space, in a marketplace. Wow. Get as much people as you can. So we got there, we had a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because it's free eye care. So we got there. We didn't actually get somebody who was going to speak, interpret for us because we didn't actually know how to speak the language.
Yeah.
So we got someone and he came and we spoke. We talked to them that we wanted to do this. And over there in Sokoto, it's really, they don't actually believe in medicine. They don't believe in medicine. They don't believe in anything Western.
Okay.
Because to them, Western culture, Western structures, or anything that comes from the Western part of the world corrupts.
Interesting.
So
It's probably accurate.
I don't know what to say.
It's all right.
I was like, okay.
You know what? No, I mean you're going over there to give good medicine and help.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
all about it.
Well, but even with that, because of the cultural differences,
Yeah.
they ask questions. Like, okay, where is this doctor from? And they're like, this doctor is from the Igbo tribe. No,
Wow.
he's not going to see us. He's not going to give us any injections. We want somebody from our tribe that will give us. I'm actually coming to help you. I'm actually coming to give you free eye care, free treatment.
And because of where you're
because
from.
of where I'm from, I can't do it.
Wow.
They were like, I was just standing. They were like, they asked the question. They asked the guy. They asked the other two people. Where this one? She was like, I'm from this. This one is I'm from here. This one is I'm from here. This one is Igbo. And they were like, no.
Jeez, oh man.
He should give, if he wants to give us any prescription or any glasses or any injections or anything, he should give it to this woman that is from here, and she'll give it to us. He's not allowed to touch any of our kids.
Wow.
That is how vast the cultural differences is.
Just in
Nigeria.
your country.
Just in my country. Because I'm not from the northern part of Nigeria. No matter how, wow. That is why in Nigeria right now, trying to sidetrack a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why in Nigeria right now, the political issue in Nigeria is based on religion and tribe.
Interesting. Wow.
That's why there's a huge,
Yeah.
power tussle in Nigeria, because tribe is a big, big, big problem in Nigeria.
Man, that's
I'm a Nigerian,
yeah.
but as an Igbo person, I cannot go to Sokoto and give them any advice or give them any treatment, because I'm not from the place.
Interesting.
That's how bad the cultural difference is in Nigeria.
And like I said, it's just in your country.
Just in my country. Then maybe I go to like in Kenya.
Yeah.
Kenya was more like two things. It was more like the language barrier.
Yep. I can see that.
Oh, it was a big deal, bro. I had to. There were times where they actually told me that I have to actually learn how to speak Swahili.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you tell them no?
Yeah, I told them, hell no. Why should I?
Yeah.
They were like, just like what they do in Saudi Arabia. You have to like know how to speak you have to know at least 60% of Arabic in order to like perform your duties as a doctor in Saudi Arabia. That's how it is in Kenya. Kenya, you have to though. Here comes the shocking part.
Yeah.
In Kenya, English is like the first language.
Oh, nice. Well, that makes it easy. But you need to learn Swahili. That's amazing.
But they were like, boy, before you do shit, you have to like learn how to speak Swahili.
Did you learn it?
A little bit, just like mambo, poa.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's
just-
better than me.
just-
I got nothing.
Just little,
Yeah.
the little crumbs.
Yeah.
Just to enough for me to be like, okay, you need next person, next patient, next. It was in Kenya. In Kenya, it was more of the language barrier, which was for me wasn't a big deal. And then there's a part that I went to. There's a place in Kenya. It's called, I don't know if you know about it. It's Mombasa.
No, I don't think so.
It's how do I say it? It's kind of like very close to Zanzibar.
Oh, okay.
It's close to Tanzania.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that good?
It's good.
That's good.
It's good.
That's okay.
It's good. It's a
All right.
beautiful place, but the thing about Mombasa is, in Mombasa, as a doctor or as a foreigner, you're not giving how do I say it? You're not giving the respect.
Interesting.
You're not giving the respect as a medical practitioner because you're from another country.
Huh.
So
See,
I can remember.
battle that too.
Yeah, that was I can remember a case where I actually had. I can remember that now. I went to Mombasa from Nairobi, and they needed a doctor in the hospital in Nairobi. So I went there to like do a 2-day job, just to like help them out in the hospital there. And the company that actually told me to come, that brought me into Kenya, said the hospital, they were like, you need to go to Mombasa because they have issues there. So you can actually go to Mombasa and do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, yeah, let me go to Mombasa at least. It's I like traveling, so
You say no problem.
no problem.
You show up
You
there.
show up there.
Get out.
They were like, the shock that I got was when they came in. They were like, I'm here. I was asked to come here, and they're like, oh, okay. We don't have a spot for you right now. We don't have a place for you where you're going to stay. You're not going. We don't have an office for you. You can just manage one of these corners. So to me, I don't really get flustered about things.
Yeah.
But
That's good.
But I did.
You got flustered at
Oh
that
my
one?
God, I
They
was
give you a
like-
corner. You're like, I'm not going to the corner.
I'm like,
I'm not in trouble.
is this a timeout or something? Am I getting a timeout? Did I come late or what? They're like, no, you just be in the corner. I'm like, I'm actually coming here to help you guys out.
Yeah.
And one of the guys there, I think he's from I can't remember where he's from. Seychelles or Mozambique? Mozambique. Yeah, I can't remember his name. His name is Henry.
Henry.
Henry. Yeah, he
From
was
Mozambique.
Mozambique. Yeah,
Okay.
he was a gynecologist, and he walked up to me. and was like, "Hey, bro, listen. When I came in here, you're actually lucky that you have a cubicle where they actually want to put you.
At least you got put in a corner.
At least you got put in a corner. I had nothing."
Wow.
When he came, he was like, I think for me it was more like, why are you coming here
Yeah.
when we have doctors?
Interesting.
That was what I felt. It was like, oh, so you're coming here to come and take our doctor's spot? Okay, we'll make it very uncomfortable for you.
Oh yeah.
You get that.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what I felt, and I didn't really like it because I don't really get flustered. I'm a very, very cool person. I tend to.
I know.
Yeah.
I hang out with you.
I tend to take things easy, but that got me, and I lost it. You know, because I couldn't really understand why I have to like deal with such. When I was actually just coming over to like, it's not like they're going to pay me.
Yeah.
The company is paying me.
Yeah.
You guys are not going to give out any money from your
Right.
pocket. Yeah. So why you guys getting jumpy? But when he explained it to me, he was like, "This is what they do. I came here. It took them 6 months or 5 months before they actually gave me an office. I was basically coming in, hanging out with the nurses. When they have a case, I will go there. When I'm done, I come back. I hang out in it's kind of like a small office where the nurses and the doctors hang out. So we'll just do that. Doctor, we'll have a case here. I will just leave them and go. It's not like your doctor has an office where he sees his patient.
Yeah. Wow.
That was big.
Wild, man. Wild.
That was big.
What, just like the different cultures all the way across the board. You know, in everything you see.
Everything you see.
Yeah.
In everything you see. It's surprising to me as an African actually having to deal with that. You understand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always like bringing race into it, but I've got the same color.
Oh, yeah.
So why would I come into a place and I'm actually offering help and you're trying to like actually treat me that way? So it's big. It's hard to say, but it's big. While I was working there in Kenya, cultural stuff was kind of like big deal in Kenya because the Kenyans are actually pretty not receptive to foreigners.
Wow.
Mostly when you come in as a professional, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. But you know, we're here now.
Dude, you've had a wild ride.
it's fun.
And here you are in Saudi Arabia, working in here. I dig that. I like that. Man.
It's good.
This has been awesome, man. What an insight.
Oh man, thank you so much. Thank you for having me, man.
Oh man, I appreciate you just
kind
of sharing a
me.
little bit of your world.
It was fun. It was good reliving those crazy crazy stories and crazy experience that I had. But it's always a pleasure being with you, man.
Oh man,
it's always a pleasure.
You know what? Thank you so much for coming on and just sharing some of these stories.
Anytime, brother.
Yeah, anytime. I might call you tomorrow.
I'm ready. Yeah. But make sure you call me. You give me a heads up.
Okay. Maybe I'll send you a text.
Yeah.
Start with that. Brother, I can't thank you enough for coming on.
Anytime,
here.
brother.
Yeah.
Anytime. And anytime. Good to see you.
We're gonna hang out.
Definitely.
We'll do breakfast.
We will do breakfast.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I like that.
No problem, man.
Right on. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Real ResQ podcast. Please take a minute to like, subscribe, and hit that share button. I'm pulling chocks and taking off. But before I go, if anyone out there has a rescue story they would be willing to share, I would be humbled and honored to have you on as a guest. Or if you have any questions about rescue or anything else we talk about here, send an email to jason@therealresq.com. That's Jason at TheRealResQ.com. You can also check us out on our web pages, therealresq.com, our Facebook page, and our Instagram page @TheRealResQ. Again, a special thank you to all of you staying on the watch today. Always remember, when that SAR alarm goes off, those in distress are praying for a miracle. They are going to get you. Until next time, fly safe, and swim hard.